Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Zebo Nation Plays, the FM Scout Academy Challenge with FC Dallas. And here we are in Season 3. We had a very successful second season, made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, where we were defeated by the Seattle Sounders. And unfortunately for Seattle and their fans out there, they lost in the MLS Cup to New York Red Bulls. So the Red Bulls are the champions of the previous season. It's very disappointing for the dominant season that Seattle had. And New York, I think they finished like 4th or so in the league, so they weren't even the second best team regular season. But they win the MLS Cup. They win the championship. Depending on how you look at it. Most people, I think, look at the Cup as sort of the champion, but a lot of people also look at the Supporter Shield as, at least as important, if not more important than the Cup. It just depends on your attitude, really. But officially, the MLS Cup is the champion. And we didn't reach it, but we got very close with a very young team. So we can take a look at some other things that happened last season. We can't look at the stats or anything like that, but we can look at some of the awards. We had several award winners last season. Notably, here we have, go by name here. That might help me out, help me find some people. Matt Hedges here. You look at his history, achievements, awards. MLS Defender of the Year in 2017. He was also named to the MLS Best 11 for that season. So he had an outstanding year defensively last season. Take a look at his career stats. He appeared in 27 games last year, so he was injured for quite a bit of the season, and he still won the award, which is pretty crazy. 7.26 rating, 4 players of the matches. He had those 2 goals again early in the season. So he played very well, but, I don't know if it's a popularity contest or what. The fact that a guy who missed, 10 games or so last season still wins the award. But, what have you. We're excited anytime one of our players wins awards. Speaking of which, Akindele also won a couple of awards. He was named the best 11 for the Canadian national team. That's 2 years in a row for him. He was also our supporters player of the year. So every year you have a banquet at the end of the season where the supporters get to vote on various things, player of the year, like signing of the year, stuff like that. And so Akindele got the supporters player of the year. And of course he was named to our seasonal best 11 for our team. Go back, I think the final guy we want to look at is our young rookie striker, Francis Washington. And he played 31 appearances, had 14 goals, 7 assists, 4 players of the match. And his achievements include the MLS Rookie of the Year. He wins the top award for rookies last season. Very excited for him. And in fact, we had all 3 of the top nominees for Rookie of the Year. Cole was a Rookie of the Year nominee, and so was Kitchen. So that's how the award finished. 1, 2, 3, Washington, Cole, Kitchen. Pretty impressive for our rookie class. I mean, we had 9 rookies, so I guess the odds were in our favor. Of course, he was named to the seasonal best 11. He was inducted into the Dallas FC overall best 11, which is pretty crazy. It seems like they've just started this since I became the coach, because these are all my players. Well, yeah, I guess Lazarzo, he was even there last 2 seasons ago. So everybody on this list has played under me as a coach. So I don't think that's really fair to Dallas FC. Sort of wiping away their history. But anyway, we'll take a look up and down the list here. Finances, we're of course doing extremely well. We've doubled our $10 million mark that we'd set out early in the first season. We're now at over 20 million in the budget, in the bank for Dallas FC. So not only are we winning, we're winning without spending a lot of money. But the good thing about this, having this war chest, having all this money in the budget, is it means we can sign our young players once they get to the point where their contracts run out and they want more money, we can sign them. We don't have the risk of some bigger teams. I mean, there are always the possibility of a huge team swooping in and paying millions and millions of dollars for these guys. But in terms of, other MLS teams or other teams, outside of like the Premier League or one of those bigger, giant leagues, we'll be able to keep these guys. So that's very important to us, building a team for the future. The board, still haven't found an affiliate that's better than the one we've got, so we're having problems there. We did finish a stadium update that I didn't know was coming, but the Toyota Stadium looks a little different now. They've added some corners into the end zones, so now the stadium is a fully enclosed stadium instead of having a couple of open spots. And I think they added a few thousand seats. So, I guess even though we weren't selling out the original Toyota Stadium, I guess they expanded it just for fun, just looking to the future. And of course, our job security, we're still 73%, very secure. Board confidence is high. Club stature is growing. Squad harmony, of course, that's one of my hallmarks as a coach, is excellent harmony. Take a look at the club. As I mentioned, is there anything we need to look at? Facilities, we're still pretty good. We only have adequate corporate facilities, whatever that is, facilities, but our training facilities are superb. Our youth facilities are excellent. I don't know if we can even ask for improvements in those areas. We can improve our training facilities. Could build a new ground. I mean, I don't think we need to do that. It would be fun, but I don't think we need to do it. Affiliate club. I could look for a new contract. What's my contract at right now? I think we're still okay. No, it runs out at the end of this season, so let's ask for a new contract. See what the board's all about there. Personnel, new contract. Let's see. I would like a new contract because it's important to players to see that I'm committed to this club and that you are committed to me. We agree that signing needs to be convinced that this is a stable club. We will offer you a new contract shortly. Nice. Facilities. Improve training facilities. It makes sense to improve our training abilities. For why? What's the reason we're going to give these guys here? Let's see. Make sure constantly up there with our competition. Nah. Technology is constantly developing. Nah. Help attract better players. That's no good. Reputation. No. Help our players reach their potential. We feel the facilities are good enough for the level of club we are. Let's see. We could reach a higher standard. You have persuaded us. All right. So we're going to improve our training facilities. Maybe we can have some of these young players reach their depth or their heights, not their depths. Because remember, we're trying to win the Champions League, and in order to win a Champions League, we've got to take that next step and be able to beat those Mexican teams that are just, frankly, a higher quality than MLS teams. There's just no way around that. Yeah, I guess that's it for the board. We've asked them for enough at that point. Take a look. Emails, we don't really need much. Contract to be offered. $6.25 million. We can pay for that with straight cash, homie. That's no problem. That's the good thing about having that much money in the bank, is we can definitely spend it on things like that. Improve ourselves, sort of play the strategy layer. It's like playing XCOM or something. You got to win games on the field, but you also got to win the strategy layer and have resources available to fight the larger war. And for us, the larger war is Champions League. Let's see, anything else we need to look? Oh yeah, transfers. A couple of things happened. Obviously, we're sending players out on loan because we have a ton of young players, but let's take a look at our transfer history. Not a lot of transfer history. On the off season, we waived Ryan Herman, Aaron Gillen, and Brian Leyva. Probably Leyva is the only one who played much for us. But that's sort of the last, just guys that we're not going to get any better and not going to play for us. So might as well get rid of them, clear up their spots. And we made, of course, the super draft. We had 3 draft picks in the super draft. I thought we had 4. Oh yeah, one guy decided not to sign with us. That was weird. Now here's the thing that happens. It doesn't happen very often, but every once in a while in the super draft, you'll draft a player and he just doesn't want to sign with you. That's weird, but it's still okay, because the way the MLS rules work is that as far as the MLS is concerned, once you draft a player, you own his rights in the MLS. So no other MLS team can swoop in and pick him up. If they want to pick him up, they have to trade you something for his rights. So we still have that dude's rights. I have to find him now. I forgot who he was completely. But anyway, he's still out there. We can still sign him if we want to. Obviously, at this point, we don't really need him, but just in case, I like to have those extra players on the roster if possible. So we did draft Carlos Alcantara, 21-year-old striker. He's got decent physical stats. He's strong. He's only 5'11", but that's okay, I guess. He's strong. He's fit. He's got good acceleration, but what he's really got is some nice technical skills. Finishing, first touch, dribbling, heading. He gives us a little different dimension at striker. He's got a little bit of flair. So he's very brave. Very brave. So again, we're not looking for needs here at the moment, especially in the super draft. We're just looking to draft the best guy we can. Interesting players who can do something for us. So Alcantara is one of our draft picks. Get out of there, Alcantara. Eddie Holdsworth, 21-year-old fullback. He's another interesting player. He's another very fast fullback. Of course, we drafted Cole last season, and he was runner-up for Rookie of the Year. But he's strong, he's fast, he's got great acceleration. Again, the great physical attributes that I look for. 6'1". He's lacking in technical skills, but he's a very good defensive player. Marking, tackling, teamwork, bravery, work rate. So he's another interesting player. He's a guy I think we could bring in off the bench and not have a lot of worries about this guy. And he's got really good potential. So no problems there. Dan Hunter, he's an interesting midfielder. He can play, we're going to play him at center midfield because we don't play right midfield. But he's 6'2", another big, strong guy. He's got pretty good pace and acceleration. But again, he's got some nice technical stats that we need. Technique, free kick, first touch, corners. So he can be a bit of a specialty player for us if we need him. Teamwork, determination, these are good mental stats as well. And the final guy we brought up was sort of an emergency call up from our junior team, Gabriel Cortese. In the off season, in the preseason, we had a ton of injuries at defense, and so I just brought this guy up from the under 18s, the Dallas junior team. And this guy, he's not going to play for us. He doesn't have much potential, but we just called him up because in terms of getting use out of a player, that was the only time in his career we were ever going to get any use out of this guy, was as an emergency call-up player. So I might as well bring him up now. Brought him up, and he promptly got injured in training, so I didn't even get to use him. He was just going to be a substitute for a couple of friendlies. So we're sending him back down to, no, we finalized that deal. Yeah, we sent him back down to the under 18. So he's going to be there, and then he's going to be gone because he's never going to get called up ever again. So thanks for the help, Cortese, but see you later. Our other guys going out on loan, we're sending Morelli back out on loan this season. He was a draft pick from last season. Perry, also Brody, Lish, and goalkeeper Donatelli. We're sending all those guys back out on loan this season. Let's get to, now that we've got that out of the way, we can take a look at our draft allocations. I did some interesting stuff there. I don't know if they'll show it on the transfer history. All trades. Yeah, so there are a lot of teams this year very interested in my international slots. That's another resource in the MLS you can use, you can trade. So each team gets a total of 8 international slots where they can bring in players of different nationalities other than U.S. Even Canadians count, which is interesting. But because they don't count if you're a Canadian team. And Americans don't count as international players if you're a Canadian team either. So it's sort of a double standard there. But anyway, since we have exactly 0, we have one or two Canadians on the team. So we've got 6 international slots to deal with that we're just never going to use. So a bunch of teams were asking us if we'd trade them our international slots. So we traded a few of our international slots. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 of our international slots, traded them for 2 years. And we got back, first round draft pick, a third round draft pick, and $150,000, third round draft pick, $150,000, and a first round pick and $50,000. No, that was a different trade. Anyway, it's just another example of things you can gain resources from in the MLS. Our other trades here, we were just trading picks for picks. Because basically in the 2018 draft, it wasn't looking like a very good draft, to be honest with you. And also I didn't need 8 more players because I had 8 picks in that draft as well. So I traded away some of my first round picks, and I got picks for next season. So, trade away a first round pick, get a first round pick for next season. Same thing, trade away 2 second round picks, got a first round pick for 2020. So I'm just sort of dropping those draft picks down a year or two just to kind of, keep them in the pipeline so I can use them for future seasons if I need them, but I don't need them right now, so there's no point in wasting them on players that I'm just not going to use. So that's my thoughts there. All right, so let's get to this season. Let's look at our team. It is essentially the same team as last year. Let's put Gonzalez up here. Let's get the starters back in for sure. In the last game, I played a couple of rested players. Let's see. Akindele and Washington were hurt for much of the preseason. Akindele is still not even back yet. Washington is finally back. We're going to start Kraft, I think. Kraft's a little more, even though, technically Alcantara, our draft pick, is better than Kraft. We're still going to start Kraft because he's got the proven commodities here. We're going to start him at the beginning, and then of course Cole is suspended from the last game of last season. But yeah, it's Where's Velasquez? Velasquez. All right. So Gonzalez in goal. Of course, he had a great season last year. Cole has been suspended. So we're going to do a little bit of trickeration here. We're going to move Acosta back to the right side, which actually he's a little bit more comfortable on the right side. And I'm going to bring in Escobedo on the left-hand side because he's a guy we need to get in there. He's got potential. He plays well when he plays. We just need to play him some more. So that's our defense. Acosta, Hedges, Zimmerman, and Escobedo are back. Midfield is exactly the same. Van de Castile, Ulloa, Pamical, Velasquez. Brought him in. And then, of course, I mentioned our striker difficulties. But we're going to go with Kraft and Washington. And then it's going to depend on who we pick as our substitutes. So we only get our 7 substitutes. Let's get these guys out of here. You know, we got questions about Hollingshead, what to do with Hollingshead. I might have to trade him. You know, there's just he's got some value, and we've got a lot of young players we got to bring along. He's 26 years old now. Yeah. So I might have to trade Hollingshead, even though he's a valuable, versatile player for us. He's just kind of wasting away on our bench. But anyway, we'll keep him until he complains. So we got the choice here. We're going to go with, obviously, Payne as our backup goalkeeper. Hindeman can play right or left back, so we'll keep him in there. And then who do we keep? Johnson or Rodriguez? I think we'll keep Johnson in the substitute pool. Then we need our defensive midfielder, Kitchen. Hollingshead. Then, of course, we need our advanced midfielder, Cannon, and a striker. We'll put Alcantara there so we can get rid of these other positions. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, let's take a look at the schedule. U.S. Cup again. They haven't announced the dates yet for the Champions League this season, so hopefully we'll be on that schedule. I don't remember if it skips a season or not. We'll see. Anyway, first up this year for the MLS is DC United. They're an interesting team, of course, just like any other MLS squad. They've gone through a lot of changes in the offseason. Brought in a designated player, Stefan Kiesling. Looks pretty good, striker, so they might have a little bit more firepower this season. They had another designated player, another striker, Kennedy Igbananike. I doubt that's how you say that name, but that's interesting. That's, where's he from? Nigeria, okay. So they've really stacked up the offense this season, so maybe they'll score some more goals. They got a good draft pick here, Brian Roca, another striker, so they are just going all out on strikers. We'll see in the match preview what they're all about here. Well, it still looks like they're going with a 4-4-2. I thought maybe they'd go with a 4-3-3 or something with that lineup, but not a lot of MLS teams run the 4-3-3, even though it's a successful formation. All right, so let's go to our team selection. I've already set that up. No need to worry about it. Submit that, and here we go. We're on the way. Season 3 for the big experiment. Can we build an MLS team with just academy players and super draft players? Let's see. From the ESPN.com, it's a close call, but I've got to go for DC United today. FC Dallas will give it everything, but DC should come out victorious in the end. All right. Yeah, the absence of Akindele and Cole will hit them hard. All right, here's our pre-match tunnel interview with Chad Parker of the American Soccer Chronicle. He's enthusiastic but unfriendly. That's too bad. With rumors circulating FC Dallas set to make considerable improvements to the training facilities, can you perhaps shed some light on your current relationship with the chairman? I have a great relationship with the chairman. Absence of Stuart Cole is sure to be felt. How hard will it be without his talismanic services? We've looked good in training and prepared, blah, blah, blah. All right, so they are sticking with the 4-4-2. We're, of course, going with the diamond formation. It served us well last season and in other seasons past, so we'll stick with it. Close down on their strikers and their wingers. Try to encourage the team. That's nice advice there, assistant coach. Come on, guys, show me what you can do. Only Acosta cared about that. Maybe he's just happy to be back at right back instead of kind of wallowing at left back. Anyway, instructions, control. We'll start out with control. It worked for us most of the preseason. Oh, DC United. I think they got a new stadium. I'm pretty sure they're building a new stadium, if not have it already. Because they've been playing in like football stadiums, you know, like NFL stadiums. They were even playing in not a condemned NFL stadium, but an old NFL stadium that's not being used by the Redskins anymore. So I think this is their new grounds, either finished this season or last season, I'm not sure. But still, a nice little soccer stadium. Little, it's probably like 20,000 people, which is pretty good. All right, encourage our players to play a short passing game. They're on the attack here. I don't like this highlight. There's a good deflection, but they get it back. Gotta watch those new strikers they've got. They might be, they might make this team a little bit more dangerous. So we'll instruct our guys to retain possession. Although we might have to go counterattack if they're going to be all attacking all up in our grill. We'll see. Now, they're not putting much pressure on us, so we might be able to just continue this. Uloa's trying to make a play. I don't know why our ball-winning midfielder is running the offense. You know, he should be getting it up to Velasquez. But I didn't exactly see Velasquez playing his position there, so we gotta work on that discipline. Had a good preseason. I don't know why we'd be discombobulated at all. And these guys should be extremely familiar with this tactic by now. I mean, I'm pretty sure they all have 100% familiarity with the tactic. Here's what we would prefer. Pamacale to Velasquez. Make a play. Nope. We can't have that. We can't have our advanced midfielder getting... Ooh, there's a long ball to Kraft over the top. Can he get it? No. Nice play, though. Nice play. Zimmerman with the pass. All right, here we go. Corners. Who's taking our corners? Escobedo. That's interesting. The young substitute in there taking corners. Who's normally our corner? Oh, Kitchen's normally our corner man, and he's not playing right now. Van de Castile has moved ahead of him a little bit. So here's Ulloa taking it from the other side. So we got our corners set up left and right. Zimmerman got a head on the ball but couldn't do much with it. Boy, we are just getting corners left and right. Escobedo, no. Who missed that? That would have been a nice goal there if he'd have gotten that header. There's sort of non-stop action here. 20 minutes down. Not a lot of just sitting there staring at that one screen that shows us the players. It's pretty much non-stop action. Gonzalez could have been better there, buddy. Could have been a little better. Now they get a corner. Let's see if our corner defense is playing well. Yep. That was an easy save for Gonzalez. There we go. There's the screen. Nope. 23 minutes. And we got another highlight. There's a highlight every couple of minutes. Kraft to Velasquez. It's kind of a weak shot, but get a corner out of it. See Ulloa again. That was a kick to nowhere. Nobody went after the ball, but we'll see if we can reset the offense. Nope, just fired in there off somebody's head. Good job. Defense gets back just fine. Now we have to worry a little bit because we don't have Cole on the back line to use that speed to recover. So instances like this, it could be a little troubling. You know, if they've got a fast striker who could maybe outrun some of our other defenders. You know, it'd take a world-class dude to outrun Cole. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we're only going to be without him for one game, so it's not like disastrous or anything. Hedges on that back line. He's so good at coming up and intercepting the ball at the right time. It's almost like we don't need a defensive midfielder because Hedges. Ooh, nice pass from Velasquez to Ulloa. Can he get it? He's going to shoot it. Ooh, off the post. So it's almost like we don't need the defensive midfielder standing back there to gather up those balls because Hedges acts as kind of a defensive midfielder himself. Velasquez. Free kicks again just are the bane of my existence. Ouch. No call. There we go. Baggio. Yeah, it's Baggio. There was a baseball player with that name. I don't remember his first name. Oh, nice steal. Acosta comes up with the steal. Pamacale. Can he get it into the zone? There it is. Velasquez. Haven't even sent the ball in Washington's direction yet this game. It'd be nice if our target man got a foot on the ball. Is he in support or attack? He's in attack. All right. So here's their counterattack. Switches it to the other side of the field. Don't see much danger at the moment, but if we don't close down on this guy, there might be. Nope, Zimmerman's there to clean it up. Offsides by their new signee, Kiesling. Ulloa to Acosta. Can he get the pass? Oof. Why? Well, I was about to complain about my midfielders taking all the shots. There we go, Ulloa with the first goal of the season. Good man, good man. That was kind of a terrible effort by the goalkeeper. It's one of those like FM goalkeeping videos here. Ulloa just sort of fires it and he dives kind of the wrong direction. Sort of not a good effort, my man. So there we go. 1-0 just before the halftime. Let's see if we can. There we go. See if we can either get a second one or just sort of run out the clock on this first half. Considering we're controlling the match and they're not putting any more pressure on us than before. The middle is wide open. That's why our midfielders just keep running with the ball because they're not being challenged. Our fullbacks, Washington almost got a deflected goal. See, our fullbacks are rushing up the sideline, and that's keeping their wingers occupied. Their wingers can't pinch into the midfield. So it's basically they just have those two midfielders, no defensive midfielder. Their strikers aren't coming back. So they've only got those two midfielders to patrol the whole center of the field. And we're kind of concentrated in the center of the field where we have, our four midfielders all right there. So a lot of times people or the assistant coaches say that we're being outnumbered in the midfield, but when in actuality we're outnumbering the opposition in the midfield because of how that formation works. That's why I like this formation so much, because we can attack straight up the middle with essentially a 3-on-2 or a 4-on-2, depending on how you look at it. Because our strikers keep the defenders busy. I mean, I guess if they've got aggressive fullbacks, they could counter that technique with bringing their fullbacks into play. But, Washington, nice to craft. No good. They could bring their fullbacks into play and have their fullbacks cover my fullbacks, but not every team does that. Maybe they'll make that adjustment at halftime. We'll see. Velasquez, yep. Free kicks. I'd almost rather just not have free kicks. Just, I don't know. Just drop it off and try for another possession. Maybe I could set up my free kicks to do that, I suppose. Just have them all lay the ball off. But there's still that hope that maybe that one golden goal will happen from a free kick. All right, so there's halftime. It's still 1-0. I think we can tell him it was a good game. He played well. There's room for improvement. Nobody cared about that. I guess we'll just stick to what we're doing here. Instructions, work the ball in the box. Yeah. Until they decide to put some more pressure on us, we can just control the match this way. So we'll see if that's what they do. If they start moving forward, putting more pressure on us, then we'll switch to the counter attack. But for now, we can keep it on control, see what happens. Looks like they are moving their fullbacks forward. But now the clock is running. They're getting a highlight here. See what happens. That was a good play back to the corner. Nice tackle by Van de Castile. On the run, on the counter. Here's Kraft. Centers it to Ulloa. He's going to shoot it. No, he drops it off. Sort of ill-advised. I think he was trying to get it to Washington. Easy throw in for Acosta. Centers it. There's Washington. Finally gets a touch on it. Escobedo with a shot. Fullback. Playing out of position there. He was on the right side even though he's a left fullback. That was odd. Winning our fair share of headers. If we can get crosses into the box. Yada yada. Here we go. Velasquez with a free kick. Off the wall. I guess I'd rather have it go off the wall than just sail out of bounds. So it's kind of a dull match. There's a lot of highlights, but not a lot of good chances. So this is, sometimes the point in the game where you start talking about other things, but I don't know what else there is to talk about at this moment. I guess there's like the Oscars, right? Escobedo, he did not win an Oscar, but he gets the ball to Acosta. Ooh, there's a good chance. It's like they had the big flub on their big award. That's pretty bad. Sent out the wrong envelope to Warren Beatty. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But, I didn't watch. I don't know how many people who watch these kind of videos would be watching the Oscars. But, ooh, look at that. We got Hedges a little bit tired at the 75-minute mark. He's been struggling with fitness a little bit off and on. Been injured, been in and out of the lineup. So we'll sub him out for Johnson. That might not be a smart move because he's looking motivated. So one move we can do is Kitchen for Van de Castile. That's a zero-sum game right there. Velasquez is looking motivated. Yeah, we'll stick with that. So Velasquez tries to drop it off to Zimmerman. Zimmerman has to fight for the ball. Gets it forward to Kraft. Hamid with the save. So he just had that one hiccup. Other than that, their goalkeeper's been pretty solid. Hedges only has a 6.9 rating. And he's very tired. So you know what? We are going to bring him out. Even though he's motivated. Ooh, I hear a helicopter going by. Seems very low. That's weird. Alright, so there's Kitchen already paying dividends from his substitution. Using a little bit of that energy to win the ball. It's a very loud helicopter. Have to check that out when we're done here. Let's see if we get our sub in the game. There he is, Johnson for Hedges. 86 minutes. Kitchen with a shot. I mean, the way this is going, this is going to be just sort of a dull 1-0 victory, but we'll take it. 2 minutes left in stoppage time. We're just kind of controlling the match. Looks like we're past the 2-minute mark, so we might get, as long as this doesn't go in, that could be the end of the match right there. And there it is, full time. First victory of the season. Our team is getting more experience. They're getting older. They're improving day by day. So that's awesome for this challenge, but it also begs the question of what do we do with some of our older players like Hedges. You know, he's a great player right now. He won the Defensive Player of the Year last season, but he's getting up there in age, getting up towards that 30-year-old mark. Do we trade him now and get some value out of him and let our young players play in that central defense, or do we go with it and try to win the Champions League this year or next year? Anyway, that's something to figure out for the future. Look at our analysis here. Hedges, only a 6.9 rating. Uloa was the man of the match with 4 tackles, 8 interceptions, 3 headers, 7.9 rating, and a goal. The only goal. Analysis, pretty good. A lot of high percentage passing. Van de Castile, 86%. Pamacale, 88%. Velasquez completed 88 passes. Anything interesting stats-wise? Probably not. 1 assist from Acosta. That's good. We want to get our fullbacks more involved offensively. Other than that, good match. Good match. Just a solid, grinded-out victory. So there we go. The beginning of Season 3 of the FM Scout Academy Challenge. I guess we'll come back. Let's take a look at the schedule here real quick. Unless a Champions League game pops up here, we'll just come back with sort of a mid-season update, I suppose. I don't know that we need to play the U.S. Cup games, especially not against, in the 4th round. We're just going to play some minor team and probably kill them. So, yeah, we'll come back with a mid-season update and see how that goes. All right, see you then. Bye.